Hey guys, it is Tuesday, it's 12. That means it's time for the Ask Me Anything marketing show. So I want to dive into a topic today that may be a little controversial, but I think it is really important for me to discuss it because I realize this with myself, I'm realizing it with clients, and I see it happening all the time. And that is people are getting stopped by strategy. So I know that sounds a little crazy, and it sounds a little crazy because as a marketing expert, many people hire me for strategy. But what I realize is 90% of the time I have to show them that they're actually getting stopped by their strategies. I know it sounds crazy, so bear with me as I share an example from none other than myself. So about a year ago, I decided I was going to put out a LinkedIn course. I started digging in there and I banged out 20 pages outlining 5 modules, 4 courses in each, and I meticulously wrote everything down in that document. I mean, I wrote down when I would look at camera, when the camera would pan over to the computer, when I would screen share, what I would say, what would flash on the screen during certain points, what content I was putting in there. I mean, I spent hours and hours and hours putting together this 20-page document. It became this huge, unwieldy thing. I would stop, I would see a webinar about how to build profitable online courses, I would watch the webinar, I would go back to the document, I would shift, I would adjust, I start looking at people to film it, where was the best location, who could I have make a guest appearance on the LinkedIn course? I mean, months of this. Oh my gosh, here is yet another webinar telling me how much more effective this platform is for online courses than this platform was for online courses. I started just researching the heck out of it. I got so wrapped up in everything, and guess what happened? Here we are, 2017, no LinkedIn course, and Microsoft purchased LinkedIn, made a bunch of adjustments to the user interface, and guess whose chunk of LinkedIn content I developed a year ago is no longer relevant? Mine. And I blame that on no other than myself because I spent so much time in the strategy of the course that I didn't actually get the course out there. You know what the best strategy is for getting an online course out into the world? Publish an online course. Just put it out there. Get the content up, get some beta users in there, see what works, see what doesn't work, and adjust accordingly. But no, I had to make sure I had the perfect strategy before I launched my online course. And what did that give me? Absolutely nothing. So last night I sat down, I signed up for an online course platform. I did a little bit of research, but honestly I was just like, they're all gonna be kind of the same at the end of the day, and I just started putting content up there. Videos, worksheets that I already created. I know I'll organize it and get it out there, and I know I'll figure out a way, but it was better to just get in action than it was to sit there and get stopped by strategy. Now, I put strategy in air quotes because it's not the strategy that's stopping you. I think that most people just have a false concept of what strategy really is. So I think that there's this idea that strategy is there's a best way to do something, and that best way is often super complex, involves a lot of industry knowledge and a ton of years studying it, and that you're on the opposite side of that place. So you don't know the best strategy and you need to figure it out. What strategy really is having a destination, having a goal, i.e. launching an online course, and then setting measurable results and checkpoints to make sure that you're on course to get to that goal. There's a bazillion strategies you could use to get to that goal, but you just have to choose one. So let's use an analogy for this. Say you're hopping in the car and your goal is to go from Baltimore, that's where I'm at, to California, let's say San Diego, okay? You could sit there and you could map out infinite amounts of ways to get to San Diego. You could sit there, you could course it all out, and then you could have a month-long debate about which would be the best way to get to San Diego. And the whole time in the course of all those months, guess what you're not doing? You're not driving to San Diego. You're just not doing it. Conversely, you could say, I know I'm going to San Diego, I'm choosing this route here, probably not perfect. These are the checkpoints I'm going to assess to make sure I'm on course. There may be some road closures I might have to adjust on the way there, but I'm feeling good, I'm taking action, I'm making progress on the way to getting to San Diego. Now, in the course of that, once you finally get to San Diego, you may realize, hey, that was a pretty crappy way to get to San Diego. It took me a lot of time. I definitely wouldn't do that again. Guess what? That's called experience. You got an action. From that, you got experience. What do experts know that novices don't? I would argue the defining factor is that they have a ton of experience. They've done a bunch of things. They realized through taking action, not thinking about it, hey, that worked out pretty well. That did not work out quite so well. And through the course of that, they just decided what they would do different next time. So again, strategy is not having one best way to do something, figuring out a ton of time on what that strategy is, arguing it, because guess what? By the time you pick your strategy, it may be irrelevant. I'm in the digital marketing world. I guarantee you, if you spend months arguing over a strategy, the strategy becomes irrelevant because that is the rate at which technology moves. So if you're in your business like myself and you see this huge project and you've made no progress on it, I would urge you to look at if you're getting stopped by strategy. And what that really means is, are you making a ton of excuses and getting yourself into a state of analysis paralysis and just not taking action? Just get out there, know what your destination is, have measurable results and check-in points with yourself to make sure you're on course for that destination. But at the end of the day, just get your butt in the car and start driving to San Diego. Now, I just want to take a moment to pause here because I don't want to get this convoluted with something else. I am not saying get in the car and start aimlessly driving without having a destination in mind. That is negligent. You could end up going in circles. You have no way to assess if you've even made progress. If you don't have a firm destination and a route to get there, you're going to have no idea if you're actually even making progress on your journey. So I'm not saying, okay, just quit your job tomorrow, have no idea what you're doing, and just get in action. Your action needs direction. It needs to be paired with intention. And you need a destination that is guiding your action. What I am not saying is to sit there and map out this huge business strategy and business plan that's going to take you months and get you out of the game of just getting out there and building a business. So like I said, look at your different projects. Look at your life. Where are you getting stopped? I love getting stopped by strategy. Why? I'm a perfectionist. I think it's wonderful. I think it's super sexy. Oh, I'm not making progress on it because I'm just trying to figure out the right strategy. It's like the haute couture version of fear. It's just guised as something really smart strategy. But at the end of the day, it's just prohibiting you from taking the necessary action that's going to powerfully move you forward. And in those actions, you're going to figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. You're going to adjust, you're going to adapt, and at the end of the day, whether you get there in 1 day or whether you get there in 10 days, you can turn around and say, hey, I got there and I learned a lot along the way. So don't get stopped by strategy. Pick a course, follow it until success, and then at the end, you can see, okay, I would have done this differently, I would have done that differently, and use that to inform your next go around. Get that experience, become an expert, rinse, wash, and repeat. I don't know. I think you guys know what I was trying to say there. Anyways, make it a great Tuesday. I'm so excited to be here with you. If you have any thoughts, questions, things that you're seeing in your own business or other people's business that's stopping them, whether it's marketing or mindset, go ahead, email it in. I'm happy to answer questions and use any kind of experience and stories I have from my own business and life to guide my answers. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great Tuesday.